Hello, this is Mrs. Jacobs, and I will be showing you today grade 4. Not really part of the Go Math program, however, it does lead into it inside chapter 3. We talk about two digit by two digit multiplication. And in this lesson, I will be teaching how you can multiply a two digit factor by a two digit factor using the distributive property. Um, and distributive property was introduced in the Go Math program in Chapter 2, where students were asked to use the distributive property to multiply a one digit by a two digit factor, a one by a three digit factor, and a one by four digit factor. So we're going to review that before we move on to a two digit factor by a two digit factor. So let's look at how we use the distributive property to do a 1 by 3, and then I'll review a 1 by 4. So let's take, for example, 4 times 756, okay? And the distributive property is a strategy to multiply, and it uses expanded form. So a child has to have a knowledge of how to put a number into expanded form. And it also relies on multiplying by tens, hundreds, and thousands, and knowing our basic facts. All right, so all those three things come into play. So the first step when doing the distributive property is, for now, we're going to take the larger number, and 4 is already in expanded form. So 4 gets to stay, that is expanded form. However, 756 can be put into expanded form, and I'm just going to put that inside parentheses as 700 plus 50 plus 6. So that's the first step. Now the part comes where we need to understand what distributive means. So it means distribute. So we're going to distribute the 4, okay? And we're going to multiply that by each value that we have inside our parentheses. So I will be drawing arrows to show each step of the way. So first, I'm going to distribute the 4, and I'm going to do 4 times 700. So 4 times 700, okay, is going to be my first way I distribute, is 4 times 700. Then I add in the additional distribution, which I'm going to do is 4 times 50. And as I distribute, of course, I write that down, plus, now I'm going to distribute again the 4 times 6. So I'm distributing the 4 to all the values inside the parentheses. So I did 4 times 700, 4 times 50, and 4 times 6. Now, what I need to do is now find the value of each of these parts, and we call these partial products. So right now, I have my first partial product, 4 times 700. 4 times 7 is 28, 2 zeros, 2,800, plus 4 times 50, but I know 4 times 5 is 20, add my 1 0, that value is 200, and of course my basic fact is that. So now what I must do is add up all these partial products. So I have 2,800, and of course making sure when I'm adding that I'm lining up my place values, and I will get, sorry, this is a 0, 3,024. So 4 times 756 is 3,024. Okay, so that is distributing to a 3-digit. So if we're going to show a 4-digit, I will do 5 times 8,697. Okay, same thing. I'm going to put 8,600 into expanded form. 8,000 plus 600 plus 90 plus 7. And now I'm going to distribute the 5. And I'm going to multiply that by each of my separate values that I have inside my parentheses. So I'm going to do 5 times 8,000 plus 5 times 600 plus 5 times 90 plus 5 times 7. Okay, so now I have to find my partial products. 1, 2, 3. 5 times 6 is 30. 2 zeros, 3,000. 5 times 9 is 45. My 1 0 and 35. So now it's my job to take all these partial products and add them together. All right, and I will get, so I get 43,485. All right, so now how does that take part in today's lesson? Well, in today's lesson, we still need this whole distributive property process, and we're going to apply that to a 2-digit by 2-digit number. So I have 35 times 67. And the first step in doing this is, again, that expanded form. Previous, the single digit was already in expanded form, so we didn't have to do anything with that. However, these two numbers can be put into expanded form, which would be 30 plus 5 times 60 plus 7. So that's the first step, to put both factors in expanded form. And now when we talk about distributing, we have two numbers now to distribute, since it's a 2-digit by 2-digit factor, okay? So the first one we're going to work with, and I'm just going to use a different color pen, okay, is we're going to do 30. So we're going to focus on distributing the 30. Now, I have to distribute the 30 to every number on the other side of the multiplication symbol. So I have to do 30 times 60. So I'm going to write that. And then I also have to distribute the 30 to the other value, which is 30 times 7. Okay, and I'm still adding all these partial products together. So now I distributed the 30 to the 60, and then I distributed the 30 to the 7. Now I am done, finished, complete distributing the 30. However, inside that parentheses, I do have another number, and that's the number 5. So the number 5 also has to be distributed. So I'm going to use my arrows underneath so to avoid confusion. So now I have the 5. I'm just going to underline that. And now I have to distribute the 5 to the 60 and the 5 to the 7, just like I did with the 30. So I'm just repeating that, but just with a different number. So I'm going to do 5 times 60 plus 5 times 7. Okay? And again, using my knowledge of multiplying by multiples of 10 and basic facts, I get 1,800 plus 210 plus 300 plus 35. And then again, the last step is to always add up all your partial products. Okay, and I get 2,345. All right. So we will do another one, okay, just to help you see again. So first step is to put both factors in expanded form. 90 plus 4 times 20 plus 7. All right, so that's step 1. Put both factors in expanded form. Now I have to start distributing, okay? And my first number here is 90. So again, I'm going to take this 90 and I'm going to distribute it to all the values on the other side of the multiplication symbol. So I have to do 90 times 20, and I write it as I draw my arrows, which is a good strategy, the arrows, to keep you on track on what numbers you should be multiplying. And then I'm going to distribute the 90 to the 7. Now I'm done with the 90. So now I have to move on and distribute the 4 to the same numbers I just did with the 90. Okay, so now I have to do 4 times 20. Don't forget our addition symbols in between. 4 times 7. Again, use our basic facts and multiplying by tens, hundreds, and thousands. 63, 630. This would be 80, and this would be 28. So again, I have to add 1,800, 630, 80, and 28, and I get 8, 10, 13, 8, and 6 is 9, 9 and 6 is 15. Let's just make sure, 14, 15, 2,538. All right, so this is how we multiply a two-digit factor by a two-digit factor using the distributive property.